Hi, I'm Movie Cat, and you're watching Fantastic Crap. Today, we're going to go on a dimension-hopping fantasy adventure with a 1996 sci-fi film named Crossworlds. Though, the exciting thing here is our guide on this trip will be the legendary and magnificent Rutger Hauer. We here at Fantastic Crap are colossal fans of the iconic actor who has done a slew of fantastic B-movies and other cult stuff over the years. He may be most well known for his role in Blade Runner, but we here know of legions of fantastic films that he has been a part of, such as Blind Fury, Lady Hawk, and The Hitcher, just to name a few. Crossworlds may be Fantastic Crap's first Rutger Hauer movie, but trust me when I say it's just the first of many. So, time to travel to the magical valley where all the dimensions of the universe collide and get ready to defend it from evil. It's Crossworlds time! What are you doing? No! I said it's Crossworlds time, not Crosswords time! Put that away! People actually still do those things? The movie opens with a typical text scroll that explains how the world has been thrown into an eternal war by bad people who wanted to take over, who basically won, and those fighting them turned into resistant fighters. The bad guys then decided to take over other worlds, but people called mystics, who had the power to travel to world, fought to stop them and possessed some magical McGruffin crystal thingy that could open the worlds wide enough for them to come over and take over. This kinda sounds familiar. This sounds like we are about to watch Mortal Kombat. Man, if only this had both Christopher Lambert and Rutger Hauer in it. That would be orgasmic! We join our hero, Joe, as he returns home to find a frat party type thing happening nearby, and his two best friends try to get him to join the party.
A little place called home.
Oh, no! No! You was trying to get away from the Hot Night Party!
Wait a minute. One of his best friends is Jack Black? Well, his life is either a fantastically fun series of hysterical moments, or it's a living, annoying hell of stupidity, depending on who you talk to. The party is pretty much a bust, so he retreats to his apartment and passes out. But then a beautiful woman who he saw at the party suddenly appears while he is sleeping and tries to take the necklace that he is wearing. He wakes up and catches her in the act, and then things get just a tiny bit interesting.
I'm not into this, really. Oh my God.
Yeah, I hate it when I open a door and a nomad on a horse from another world tries to murder me. Always ruins the entire night. Though, he doesn't have time to wonder about that because suddenly, men in business suits armed with shotguns jump through his window and tries to kill them. Yeah, seriously.
Oh my God, please don't shoot me, man. I swear I didn't touch it. I didn't lay a hand on it. I swear.
Come with me or you're dead. Move!
That's the worst Arnold Schwarzenegger impression I have ever heard. She didn't even get the line right. They get away in a car, and she takes him to see A.T., played by Rutger Hauer.
This definitely shouldn't be here.
It's bigger on the inside. Oh man, what an idea! Rutger Hauer as Doctor Who? Orgasmic to the 9th power!
Just for the record, I think this is a bad idea.
What's a bad idea?
Shut up.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer is pretty much playing the mentor role here, and he is rocking it out of the park. They go to the museum for some unknown reason, and it starts to be obvious that before the bad guys show up, there are always birds present, mainly a big black crow. Yeah, I always knew those things were up to no good. While at the museum, they encounter a guide there who turns out to be the main villain. This would be a surprise if it were not for the fact the movie already ruined it when they showed him in the film's opening. A.T. makes a portal and they get away and drop into the sea. While there, Joe wants some answers. Laura tries to explain, but A.T., who clearly has no time for this nonsense, interrupts her and sums it up for him.
We're soldiers from another
We're the
dimension.
good guys. They're the bad guys. We have this. They want this real bad. Now, if we don't get it to a safe place fast, we're in big trouble. That's it.
Quick and to the point. I should have Rutger Hauer give the synopsis to all my films I do. It would save me some time. They go out to the desert, and A.T. uses the scepter to teleport them to the mystical Crossroads, the place between worlds where you can go anywhere. This is the magical otherworldly Crossworlds? Another desert with a red tint? Wait a minute. Whoa, I smell something. What's that? It's pretty strong. Smells like a low-budget production.
I think I'm gonna puke.
Don't puke around here. You'll turn inside out.
Yep, those effects sure do convince me that they are indeed in another dimension. Total immersion achieved. The effects of the place gets the best of Joe and he gets sick and almost passes out. He must be allergic to cheesy effects. If that's the case, he's not going to survive this movie. But anyway, he almost passes out. But then they are attacked by enemies and Joe magically gets better and helps fight them off. Wow, I guess cross-interdimensional traveling, sickness, ain't nothing but a thing. Even in his much older years, Rutger Hauer is a badass. Joe gets separated from his friends and has the crystal stolen from him. He is then teleported back to his world, where everything has been magically restored as if they never happened. So, I have to ask this. If the bad guys can clearly still teleport around freely and alter reality at will without the crystal, then why in the friggin' ever-loving world do they need it so badly in the first place? From the look of things, they could already take over if they wanted to. Joe finds a way to get back to A.T., but the bad guys find them and they are taken to see the villain, played by Stuart Wilson.
It would seem that my old friend A.T. is very concerned about your welfare. I think he's afraid that I'm going to kill you once I get the scepter. So, what I've decided to do is remove this obstacle from our negotiations and kill you now.
Stuart Wilson is another fantastic character actor who is great at playing bad guys. He has played some fantastic baddies from such films such as The Mask of Zorro and Lethal Weapon 3, but his greatest bad guy, in my opinion, was Merrick from No Escape. That performance blew me away back in the day, and since then, I have always been a super fan. Now, with all that being said, his reputation has kind of gotten a bit tarnished by just one villain role. Yeah, he was the very despised villain of the third Ninja Turtles movie. Though it wasn't really his fault, he didn't write the character to be so generic and bland, and I argue that he played it the best he could and with what he had to work with. But yeah, his character from that has gotten a tiny bit internet famous, mainly due to a nerdy guy who likes to swear at video games. But anyway, back to the movie. Joe and Laura are zapped away, but manage to make it back to rescue A.T. But it was all a trap, and they end up in an elevator with the bad guys' magic, playing tricks with their minds, and making them see illusions. Though it seems the rule here is if you believe in the illusion, it will become real.
Believe in the floor. I believe in the floor. I believe in the floor.
Well, this is still less annoying than elevator music. Though, I must admit, this right here is kind of fun stuff.
I didn't want to mention this before, but if you're not up here by the time we hit the ground floor, you'll be crushed under the elevator.
Once again, I must ask, if the bad guy is this powerful, why does he even need the crystal to take over? They manage to survive the elevator and escape and make their way to the scepter, only to once again be surprised by the bad guys when they should have expected that they were being followed. The scepter was in the trunk of a car, booby-trapped to explode, and A.T. manages to use it to blow himself up with some of the bad guys. I wouldn't normally say that I just lost my reason to keep watching this movie, but the movie made it really obvious that he had a way out and didn't really get splattered all over the dump yard. The two manage to get back to the Crossroads, but they are confronted by the bad guy, and then A.T. and the explosion crashes the scene.
Now you just ran out of friends and ran out of time.
How'd that happen?
Glad you could make it.
My pleasure anytime.
Now the movie is teleporting its bad effects around. Well, to be fair, that was actually pretty awesome. A.T. and the bad guy has a fight that has them teleporting all over the place, including right into a transit bus, and then it kinda ends in a field. Cheesy 90s special effects. There's something charming about them. Joe then enters into the battle and the bad guy stops kicking A.T.'s butt and starts teleporting Joe around and kicking his butt instead. Knocking his block off inside a small block. Nice. Oh, but the silly beatdown doesn't end there. And now the bad guy is ringing Joe's bell. Wow. The fight continues for a while, with Stuart Wilson really chewing the scenery and having all kinds of fun, spouting one-liners at Joe and mocking him, until Joe finally has had enough and finds his mojo, and finally figures out how to competently use the scepter by using it to open a portal inside of the bad guy. Nice death. Well, here, at least it wasn't just him falling into the sea with no impact. With the day saved, they bring the scepter back to the Resistance.
Well, I'm glad I got to meet you, Joe.
That sounds like goodbye.
Probably is.
So, this Resistance that has been managing to stop the overpowered bad guy for so many years is just a few people and a couple of tents? How have these people not been murdered ages ago? And also, why do these movie Resistance bases always have those tables with the glass wall thingies in the middle which show images and always have the square patterns on them? I blame Star Wars for this. Anyway, that wraps up Crossworlds, a pretty fun and very silly sci-fi adventure film that manages to really entertain. Sure, it's low budget, and its special effects were a bit cheesy even for back then, but it all just adds to the charm of a film like this. It also helps that it has Rutger Hauer spending the entire movie pretty much just being a giant lovable asshole to everyone.
Laura, you can stay for coffee if you promise not to talk.
I need your help.
Oops, you talked. Goodbye.
If you're gonna kill us, kill us. Don't bore us to death.
I have my orders.
You've got shit for brains.
That must have been my asshole period. We all have them.
You, sir, have never left your asshole period, and that is why we love you. I give Crossworlds 6 hairballs out of 10. There will be plenty more Rutger Hauer movies featured here in the future. He has done so many fantastic things, and it will be fun to spotlight all of them as time goes on. But for now, it's time to wrap up another episode and begin working on the next episode. Next time, I think I will relieve some stress and go do a bit of fishing. You will understand what I mean once the next episode hits, so until then, keep supporting those wonderful B films. Now. Wow, I guess cross-intermission will enter the doo-doo duties? But it was all trap and they Suzus. The effects of the place gets the best of Joe and he gets sick. Must be, this is what you get for trying to ad-libbing. Just stick with the script, movie cat. The movie opens with a typical text scroll that explains how the world has been thrown into an eternal... Why did it take me 3 years to say that one word? What? Yeah, Rutger Hauer is pretty much playing the old crotchety mentor role. Mentor, not mental, even though a lot of his characters are mental. Also, why do these movie resistant bases? Why did I have trouble with that word? Bases. There's nothing weird or complicated about bases. Okay. So, this resistance, I totally forgot what to say next. Oh my goodness. I must be getting old.